Untold tales of wit, wisdom, and worldens, where laughter lingers and lesson plans through shadows and sparks. Our courage lands, pages unwritten, true heart yearns. Foxy Diaries, a place to heal, where stories reveal what hearts conceal. Untold tales of wit, wisdom, and worldens.
Hi, good people. It's a whole new month. How many months in a week, Grasha, now? April, May, June, July.
Yes.
4 months in. Aish. Family, tunapush, tunaendelea, and we are glad to be here yet again. And moving on with our series, this is the leadership month. We are doing series on leadership. Something by now that you know I love, 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 love. And before we go any further, my name is still Sylvia Mbogoa, always joined by
The amazing Grasha Maingi. Welcome so much. Karibu niseme welcome very much. Alafu I was like, is it? But anyway, welcome very much to Foxy Diaries. We are glad to see you. How are you? Happy new month. How's your month been? How was June? Unajua sasa tushaanza kuingia the second quarter. Those of us that are serious, we start asking ourselves, what did you do in that first half of the year?
did you achieve the goals and everything?
See? I am
the
already
KPIs, what they made.
I'm already tired. Please. I don't tire.
But you know leadership lazima ikuwe self kwanza.
Ngoja last time ulituambia international leadership. Sasa ni kama leo tumekuja kwa umesema ni KPIs. Okay.
Anyway, a story for another day.
I know, right?
But today we intentional leadership. Which part of
International leadership?
semi international?
Let me tell you, I will never forgive you for that thing. Hey, guys,
forgive 70 times 7 times. But anyway.
I always repeat that episode to what you say international. Nimekuja leo.
We will get international.
Nimekuja leo nikifikiria international leadership.
So tell us today, what are we talking about?
Today we're talking about leading with people, where you don't just lead. Actually, the topic niliwaambia Sly ndo anatafutianga hizi titles, and the topic Sly has chosen today is leading with people, not just over them. And of course, as always, Auntie Wama Story, I got a story for you. I have a foxy tale for you. He was known for excellence, the kind of leader who got things done, even if it meant doing everything by himself. Promotions came fast, but so did exhaustion. Meetings piled up. Team members waited for direction instead of growing in initiative. One day, after missing a doctor's appointment due to stress-induced fatigue, it hit him. This wasn't leadership. It was martyrdom. Slowly, he began delegating, first with fear, then with trust. To his surprise, his team did not crumble. They flourished, empowered people, took ownership, and he finally rested. Not because he gave up, but because he finally let others rise. This feels like the story of my dad.
Shanza kwa personal.
Hi. But this feels like my dad. My dad has had a problem with delegating for as long as I can remember. And my dad has been a ministry leader for the longest time. Like he's been in ministry for over 40 years. So my dad has had a problem with delegating. He wants to do everything by himself. So for him, the only way he feels like he can do things right ni hata msipokuwa shauri yenyu ndafanya. And then I'm like, Isa, can you... The other day, we had to tell him, Mzee, slow down. It's now taking a toll on you. It's taking a toll on your health. Can you calm down? Like, just slow down, take it slowly. So it took for him to get sick. This story, it's that story for my dad. It took a toll on him that one day he had to get sick to the point that he couldn't do nothing. for him to start, for us to take up some spaces, and
A
for
crisis
him,
had to
yes,
hit.
a crisis had to come for us to take spaces and for him to give us an opportunity to step out and show what we can do. Up to date, we have a problem. Before he allows you to do something new, of course, mtasumbuana, then he will be okay. But it started with that part of, can you really do it? Then he will be like, aye. But then slowly by slowly, he started delegating. So, what does leading with people and not just lording over them mean?
Yeah, leading with people.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get there, I think it's nice pointing out that what goes on with your dad is something that is common among leaders. People are afraid of letting in other people to leadership spaces, to allow people to run with things, because I call it a legit fear, but it's not really a validated one, because there's a way they want things to run. There's a way they envisioned things to run. And before you release something, especially something you care about, so you see, like for your dad, it's a ministry that he has nurtured. So that is something that is too precious, too close to his heart. How do you expect him to just start inviting people over into it?
So may I have a question?
Yes.
Is it that, what's the fear? Is it the fear that those people will take up their space? Or is it the genuine fear of, general fear actually, of you might not do this as good as I do it? What exactly is the fear? Is it the fear that naweza kuwa replaced, or it's the fear, yeah?
Majorly, especially for people who, for lack of a better word, own things, it's the fear of things might go bad. You might run down my ministry. You might run down my company after all the investments that I've done into it. But in other areas, definitely, it's fear of being replaced. It's a fear of being outshone. If I allow Grasha into my space, she will do better than I do, and you will start receiving the praise, the recognition, and then something in me will tell me that I will just fade away in the background or something. It's a fear of losing relevance. That is what I call it. But then again, it doesn't augur well. Augur. Anyway, I'll give you a story on augury. It doesn't augur well with the one who's doing all these things, because what you are describing in that story, and also with your dad, is the burnout bit. You're not supposed to burn out when you have people around you, and that is where our today's topic gets in. You lead with people. You don't lead over them. You invite people into your spaces. And how do you begin inviting people into your spaces? Of course, there's investing in training. There's investing in teaching people your culture. Who is Grasha and what have you envisioned, especially if you own something or you're the vision bearer. Let's call it that. There's a place of sharing, and keep drumming into people until they embrace, they take up your vision. And that makes it easier for delegation, because whoever you're delegating to, whoever you're inviting into that space, already has an idea, already has embraced what you're all about. So it's like you're duplicating mini-use, You're leading with them. You're not leading over them. Leading with people means you can see you're on the same level, sort of. You've empowered them, you've pulled them to the spaces that you're in. Leading over people, for lack of a better word, it's like you're backing orders over them.
Yeah.
Where fanya hivi, fanya
Like a
hivi.
teacher and a student
And it becomes hard for people to just follow things without understanding, why am I doing things? You forget that you're dealing with people who have their complete set of brains. There's a way they're looking at a matter or at a certain task, and maybe if you listened to them, they would execute it better or make it more excellent than your levels of excellence. But you're not giving them room. You just want to tell them, do, but you're not you're not really listening to them. So that is what we mean by leading with people, but not leading over people?
There's something I tell people in our what do we call this? In our worker service, because I teach a leadership class. And there's a lesson the other day, because what I am hearing from this is delegation.
Yeah.
There is a lesson the other day I was teaching called abdication vis-a-vis delegation.
Teachers.
Please. So abdication is the handing over of responsibility, leadership responsibilities to people without follow-up. So nikikuachia kirol changu slide, sirudi kuangalia kama uko sawa, sirudi kujua kama I don't care. It's like a leader amekuachanisha. Actually the word is kuachanisha.
Depend.
Yes, amekuachanisha na ameenda. So it happens when one, a leader is too trusting. And then two, if they are too trusting that the people they are leading have the capacity to do what they do. So they leave it to you and don't follow up. Or number two, they have a burnout issue. The leader is just tired. They have a burnout. And they just want to, let me get over and done. So what you do, you leave protocol under someone. You don't give them no orientation, no nothing. You leave them with the work and you go. And you don't check in. So you see the difference between abdication and delegation is that delegation is you choose qualified people. Number two, you choose people who understand the assignment. Number three, you check in with them. You walk with them through that journey. So a lot of leaders have found themselves abdicating their duties because either
it became too much, or
or they became too trusting. So we also have that side of leadership, or rather that side of leadership that even when we talk about how do you lead with people, how do you not just lord over people? Because when you abdicate, you're lording over people. Because what you're doing is, I am telling you, Sly, chukua role yangu endele, and I have gone turus, bye, and then have I acted responsibly? Because what abdication does to the team, it kills team morale. Number two, it causes burnout. Number three, it causes confusion because you have left the team with no clear instructions. So as a leader, you need to also understand, are you delegating or are you abdicating? Because when it comes to also picking people to lead with or inviting people into your space where you're telling people, come, let us lead together, there's also the space where you allow them to, you pick people that are qualified for certain tasks. Maybe I don't give people
the art of delegation.
Yes. Maybe I don't give people leadership roles when I know they are not willing to do them.
That's true. No, that's true. That's true.
Where were Baki? By the way, Baki, I was not Baki. Because utanisumbua.
No, that's true.
So it's okay,
That's
even
true.
as a leader.
No, but that's true.
As a leader, it's also okay for you it's also okay for you not to allow people into the leadership space if they've not attained the capacity and maturity to. Because there are people you will invite into leadership spaces, or there are people you will invite to lead with you, and then they will become extra baggage you're carrying. Sasa
It makes your work harder.
Huyu slice hata ningeachana naye, who told me to invite her into this? Because sometimes you need to understand who has capacity to handle what. As you delegate, as you invite, as you lead with people, understand who has capacity to. But then again,
I agree, because I also do that once in a while. There are people I will just not pick, or people I will allow to just leave leadership because hatutabembeleza near leadership. But then again, there is a place of when do you draw the line of trying to encourage a person or stretching someone's capacity? When do you know when you're stretching someone's capacity? Like, you can see Russia has something, it just needs some push. But then again,
yes, there's those ones, you know their ability. And you know their capacity to perform. And then you can push them. But there's those ones you will check and see and be like, huyu wacha tuache kufanya nini? Tuache kusumbuana.
There should be a tangible place of self-drive.
Yes.
Kujituma tu kidogo. You know, like, you can't be just... but anyway, yeah. I agree. Abdication versus delegation. Very important. Something that we need to incorporate.
Yes.
As we are leading with people. And I feel like we are bringing up topics that we really need to go deep in. I think in one of these leadership classes, classes. Hey.
Sly on a master class. Mkikaa hivi kidogo msikie Sly has a master class.
In our leadership series, I think I've really fallen in love with that idea of delegation. I feel like calling an episode The Art of Delegation because there's so much in it. Because huwezi kuwa alpha and omega as a leader, you know. You can't forever, as you start, yes. As you start, you need to micromanage, but after some time, you drop the micromanaging, because otherwise, if you have to keep micromanaging people for you to maintain control, for things to run, then the sad truth is you are failing as a leader. You're actually not growing. Because what that means is you can't be entrusted with more responsibilities. Yes. The place of delegating and the place of allowing people to lead with you is for you to be able to be open for more leadership positions, because growth should be an upward trajectory.
Yes.
But if you don't learn to pull people as you rise, then there is nowhere you will go because you're already weighed by too much.
As we continue, I am reminded of Exodus chapter. It's actually what I was opening. Exodus 18, verse 13 to 27. The story about Moses. Moses was very overwhelmed, personally handling every dispute among his Israelites. His father-in-law Jethro observed and gave him life-saving wisdom. What you're doing is not good. You will wear yourself out. Moses learned to appoint capable leaders over groups and reserved his energy for the most difficult cases. He shifted from doing everything alone to empowering others. Because Moses was just, I can imagine kazi ya Moses. Huyu wameibiana shamba wamekuja kwake. Hawa wamepigana wamekuja kwake. Huyu alikosana na bibi yake jana wamekuja kwake. Hawa hawasikilizani kwa familia. This brother and this, like, I can imagine, this team, I can imagine Moses was handling a lot. And those cases, the Bible says that Moses used to sit outside his tent from morning till evening judging cases. So imagine tu amekaa hapo nje, anaongojea amepanga laini kutoka hapo mpaka Kimende. Nyinyi wote mnakuja kila mtu na story yake. His father-in-law looked at him and he was like, utakufia hapa. Appoint people, let people handle some of these cases. So if in the Bible we can see cases of people that were able to delegate, or rather allow people to lead alongside them, who are you to kill yourself with a lot of issues?
And in that story, I think what has just come up in my mind is, as a leader, who mentors you, who talks to you. Because you see, for Moses, he had Jethro, who he listened to. So who do you listen to? Because as you're leading, there are people who are outside you that are seeing the gaps, that are seeing the kind of help that you need. So you as a leader, who do you listen to? Who talks to you? Who do you honor? Because for you to listen to someone, it's because you honor them.
Yes.
So it's a place of checking in again, the mentor-mentee relationships we talked about a while back. Yeah. And yeah, I agree. You remember I don't call them minions. I love calling them mini youth. But yes, you need people.
But I think as we come to almost an end of this episode, I think one thing as leaders, or rather one thing leaders need to teach themselves is trust. I was challenging leaders in our church the other day. I was telling them, if you have personal trust issues, it will reflect even in your leadership style. Because you can't start telling us, huku kwa ofisi or huku kanisani, una to trust, and wewe mwenyewe uko na trust issues, personal trust issues. So if you have a problem with delegate, issues of the heart, and one of them is trust. Because if you have a trust issue, then you will definitely have a delegation issue.
Yeah.
Because you will always feel kuko na kitu watu wanataka. Either they want to pick your position, you will feel they don't fit in the position, you will feel they can't do it good enough, better than you. Like you will always have something you feel like they can't do very well. So as a leader, even as we culminate this session, as a leader, develop trust understand who are you. Do you have trust issues? Sometimes the problem is not the people, the problem is you. Kuna ile quote, I think, is it a quote or a book? I don't know. The mountain might be you.
As a leader,
get out of your own way.
But I agree about, again, that place of checking in what it is you carry and what it is you're pouring to people. Because I think it's Paul who says, imitate me as I imitate Christ. So whoever you're leading, they're imitating you. And the kind of leadership that sticks to people, and people will carry themselves the way they see you do things. They actually model what you're doing. So I agree with what you're saying, because there are people you'll realize lead from a place of anger. Where did they learn that from? From the people they were looking up to, or the people they recognized as leaders. So there's a place of just knowing what you carry. And what we are saying is, if you realize there are things that you need working on, remember we always say we are all work in progress, and we need to keep working and working until we become better and better. I think akunanga nini optimum level, you are doing better. You can only keep growing and growing.
Grow
every
single day.
So as we bring this to a close, what are we saying?
Mara 50 kama pastors. Unasema finally, and then pastor anaendelea kidogo anasema as I finish, in conclusion, finally, then uko like, okay pastor, hizo vitu zote tatu si umesema ni the same. Can you finish with me?
Anyway, as we finish, what my parting shot would be is that, remember, as you're leading, lead with people. Do not lord over them. Do not lead over them. Learn to bring people into your fold. Let people learn to lead in safety and be safe. Safe leadership will foster growth as compared to any other kind of leadership. And at that, over to you.
Alrighty, as we wind up, my winding up here 50 million times. But as we wind up, as a leader, I'd want to give you a challenge. Resist the urge to fix things. Let people grow. The mess is beautiful. When they make mistakes, they will learn.
It's part of the learning
It's
process.
part of the learning. You also learned through mistakes sometimes. You did things wrongly, you did things right. Resist the urge to fix it. Allow them to grow and allow them to make the messes. And with that, we bring our conversation to an end.
And this is Foxy Diaries,
the untold tales of
wit, wisdom, and wild turns.
Untold tales of wit, wisdom, and wild